What's up? What's up, everybody? This is what's up. Welcome to another episode of D313 Rap Report. Our, episode 9, man. We're gonna have a great show today, man. So we have definitely gonna have a great show. This is your boy DC1. Got my guy Bree. No Miss J will be joining us shortly. So Bree, man, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm so geeked up for this show and our special guest, man. I can't tell you, man. I can't hide the smile on my face, man. I'm just so excited about this. So, I'm so ready for this, man. So ready.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we got our special guest here today, man, from Woodward Sports. And, people know who he is. If you watch Woodward Sports, man, you listen to him. We got our special guest, Chris Platte. Chris, man, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming through, man. How you feeling, man?
Man, thank you, man. I'm here talking, the stuff I love to talk. So I can't complain, man. Life's always good when I'm just talking what I love. Can't beat it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. So let's get it started, man. So so Chris, we'll let you take the floor as far as you can introduce yourself and your background, how long you've been doing this, what were sports. So we'll let you go ahead and take the floor, man.
Yeah. I'm Chris Platte. So I've been doing content now for about. This will be my 10th year. I started in high school. I always knew I just wanted to talk about, my passions in life. And that was from an early age. I knew it was basketball, but then I also realized it was going to end up being music as well. And so in high school, I found out what a podcast was. And I just straight up, the next day I went and I bought a microphone and I started recording. And I just kept doing it. Went to college. I went to Michigan State for journalism and broadcasting, and finished that. And then kept continuing to make content. And then got into Woodward Sports last year. And it's been great, man. It's been a long journey, but it's just fun. At the end of the day, when people ask me what I do, I just tell them, I do it for a living. All I get to do is talk about the things I talk about for free. So when you put it that way, man, you can't complain about life. It's beautiful.
Absolutely, man. Like I said, we thank you for coming onto our show, man. We're definitely glad to have you, man. So it's very appreciate you, man, for all three of us. Nomis, man, what's going on with you, man? You finally made it through, man. How you feeling?
Yeah, I feel on time. Yeah, what up, though, everybody? Are we live?
Yes, we are.
Oh, you sure didn't clear that with me. Okay. Yeah. How's everybody doing? Glad this
we
finally
meet
Chris.
For a minute.
We good, brother. We good. Good.
Yeah, good to finally meet you, man. I've seen you quite a few times on Easies, and especially heavyweights, man. You do your thing on there.
Hey, yeah, man. Yeah, man. I love our show, man. I love our show, man. It's a dope show, and Easy and Spencer are great guys. And shout out JB Smooth as well, he's killing it in the booth.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we got a nice little 4-man game, and it's fun.
All right.
And it's good to have a Sparty on here too. I'm just gonna go ahead and say,
absolutely. Go green, go white, baby.
Look, I love both teams, but these two right here, I don't know. Maybe in the football life, somebody didn't give them a hug good enough. I don't know. Spartan or friends, it's starting to get old as my hair.
That sound like a lot of hate, brother. That sound like a lot of hate.
It's just. I mean, come on. Y'all can't go 5 minutes without bringing up Sparty. Hey, I don't bring up Michigan hardly unless it's Jordan Poole. So that's usually criticizing him. So hey, but no.
So we lost numbers for a second. Yeah, we lost him for a second.
Yeah, that's the Michigan fan. That's why.
Yeah. Hey, it's that U of M connection, right? You know what I mean?
I know, right?
A little shake.
Yeah,
You
man.
realized he was outnumbered and kind of dropped out. I don't blame him.
He'll be back. He'll be back. So, but man. So Chris, man. So we definitely, what's going to? Do you feel like you want to talk about some Pistons right quick?
Always, man. Always.
All right, man. Let's get into it, man. Let's talk about some Pistons, man. As you know, the NBA draft was concluded this past Thursday, man. But the Pistons end up getting, Asar Thompson at the 5th pick in the first round, and end up trading up from the second round to the first for the 25th pick. Traded with the Boston Celtics to get Marcus Sasser, which that 25th pick was originally from the Memphis Grizzlies before they traded. Yeah, they 3-team trade and stuff. So Pistons able to trade up and I'm getting Marcus Sasser, which that was a huge steal. So Chris, man,
yeah,
the floor is yours, man. Tell me how you feel about Sar and Marcus Sasser.
Yeah, I'll start with the Sar. I was a Cam Whitmore guy first and foremost. I was all the way in on him. I think he has not as high of a floor, but a higher ceiling than Brandon Miller, just because when you look at the athleticism combined with the shooting abilities and just all of that he has, all the intangibles he has, I think he has the ability to be a great player. So I was always Cam because I believe in the idea of building a team around elite shooting and having that be like one of your core principles. And the Pistons, have Caden Ivey be respectable shooters, but I'm not sure neither of them can be elite. And Asar definitely doesn't fit that mold where I think Cam did. So Cam would shoot 40% on catch and shoot threes while having surgery on his shooting hand. So I mean, the dude just, I have no doubt about his jump shot. And his question, like his biggest weakness was his feel for the game. How does he playmaking, all of that? But Caden and Ivy are the playmakers for this team. I could need somebody that can shoot, get buckets, and play good defense, and be an elite athlete and put pressure on the rim. So I was a Cam Whitmore guy. Now, the people that, people told me that there's some medical stuff. People told me some stuff off the record about Cam that kind of was the reasons why he fell. So I understand the Sar pick, putting that all into context, because Asar is, he is a super elite defender. Like, that's the first thing that jumps off the page with him. Dude is one of the best, if not the best in the class, in my opinion. Perimeter defense, 6'7" with a 6'10" wingspan and uber athleticism. This dude's going to come in the NBA as one of the best athletes already, him and his brother. And so, he's not the greatest shooter. I mean, the dude shot 33% from the three at overtime, and that's decent. And if you can progress that, you can get that to the mid 30s, and it's respectable. But again, it's just the athleticism. And he finished 65% of his shots at the rim. So he was the elite finisher. So I like the fit because Troy Weaver continues to bet on these guys that have high IQ, great feel for the game, and elite athleticism. You look at the lineups Troy Weaver was running out 2 years ago. It was Luka Garza, Trey Lyles, Josh Jackson. I mean, you're talking no athleticism, none. And now you turn that into Ivy, Duran, and Asar. This is already going to be one of the most athletic teams, and they're going to be a monster in transition. And Monty Williams is a guy who teaches you 0.5 seconds. You got to make a fast decision, put a lot of pressure on the rim. And so I like Asar a lot. I've settled into it a lot more. He was third on my big board. My first two were Cam and Taylor Hendricks. I thought those were great fits, again, just because of the shooting. But then when you jump to Marcus Sasser, I like this guy a lot. He was on my board for the 31st pick. I was hoping he'd fall. And, the Pistons trading up to get him 2 second-round picks, I thought was nothing. I thought that was a very good deal for Detroit to go and get a guy, Marcus Sasser, who, when you watch the tape, I don't know if you guys gotten a chance to watch the tape on him yet, but that dude is a dog. straight up. I know that gets used all the time, and I'm not the one to say that because, you know, I think he's way too overused. But when you watch the tape of this guy, man, this guy will eat your heart out. He is 6'2", but if Giannis is the best player on the other team, he's gonna go, I got that one, coach. Like, he's gonna take whoever he has to take on defense, and then he's just an absolute bucket on offense. So an elite shooter, and one that, you know, I know there's people out there that don't like Killian, and, you know, and I certainly have my gripes with him, but at the end of the day, him and Killian fit great together in the backcourt because he can do everything Killian can't do, and Killian can't do everything that he can do. So I like it. I love the draft. I thought it was a very good draft. You assessed your two biggest needs, which were defense and shooting. And you would have liked to have gotten them all in one prospect, but, you know, you got them in two. So I don't think you can complain. I think Sasser will be a good role player for years to come, and I think a star. You know, that ceiling to me is Andre Iguodala, and Troy Weaver used that comp as well. I know y'all caught the Halle Berry line that he made too in his press conference.
Oh yeah.
That was smooth. I looked at Troy. Troy like I need to start doing something like that. He's like special is special. I'm pretty sure Halle Berry looks good on the movie center at a grocery store. And I was like, that was smooth. Ain't no way that wasn't a real shot at Halle Berry. Ain't no way. And I want a GM that's going to take a shot at Halle Berry every day of the week. So, yeah, I loved it. Love the draft, man.
I found me extreme, but I gotta say, man, the thing about Sasser, his press conference, I found it real funny. You know what I'm saying? I know he probably just meant that in a certain way because he know he's like 6'2". But I swear, at that point he should just name drop Killian Hayes because at the point he described him damn near perfectly. He's like, yo, I like to be put in a situation where I can stretch the field as a guard. I mean, stretch the court as a guard. You know, line me up with somebody who's like 6'6", 6'7", aka Killian Hayes, who can distribute the basketball and get me in the right spot and I can knock down the shot. Like, I was like, bro, did he really just set the entire fan base up? That's what I was laughing at that for like 2 minutes, bro. I'm like, he literally put the work because you know how the fan base is. Sometimes you get a guy who pass a little bit, he gets drafted automatically. He's a replacement for somebody they don't like. And, you know, Killian Hayes happens to be one of the players that a lot of people don't like here. To me, for all the wrong reasons. And them being a perfect match with each other. That defense, first, especially off that second unit, oh man, it's going to be really flawless. Because, like, when you think about a guy like Usar, I'm sorry, I see a lot of why people have Andre Iguodala, quote to him based on what Troy Weaver said. So, of course, I trust what Weaver said, but that jump shot, first off, he adds more metrics to his body and kind of grows into his frame a little more. I know people go by his weight, 220, long wingspan, but, you know, he's going to have to develop his NBA body a little bit more. Him and several other prospects. But when he grows into that frame and that jump shot starts coming down, the blood ain't on our hands. That's what I'm going to say. The blood is on our hands.
Hey, Nomus, you got a little wind in the background a little bit?
Okay. It's hot. Yeah, man. So I got a question for you as well. So, like, give me the energy of the entire draft, if you can, from your perspective. You guys in the studio watching the NBA draft and just all the pits falling down, like from us picking our two guys and even for certain players falling in places that you didn't expect them to fall. Like, just what was the energy like for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's always fun, man. There's nothing like draft day. There's nothing like trade deadline. There's nothing like those moments in NBA when you're just around people that are passionate about it. So, I mean, number one, there's always going to be that part, that level of excitement is going to be brought. But one of the first things I remember the conversations we had is first, obviously, you know, Asar to Detroit. How does it fit? How does it work? You know, blah, 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 all of that. But then it got quickly into how far is Cam Whitmore going to fall? Because that was a guy that was high on a lot of Pistons fans' boards. I mean, I think I saw damn near every poll I saw. Cam Whitmore was the leading pick up until the last few days. I know there was the Jarris Walker corners, there was the Taylor Hendricks corners, there was quite a few corners, but Cam's was one of the loudest, if not the loudest. So it immediately came to, like, I kept bringing up, all right, at what point, if you're Troy, do you call it, be like, hey, let's go get him, let's go get Cam? And when it was 20 and it was Houston Rockets, I was like, man, I would really consider it. But, hearing what I heard about Cam, I'm not saying it's impossible for him to still be a great player in the NBA. I just think it's going to be a lot harder of a path than we think. So I ultimately understand why things went the way it went, but that was the conversation quickly. Was, damn, what's going to happen with Cam? And are they going to try and trade back in and get Hendricks? Because, they did that last year with Ivy. They got Ivy, and they weren't done. And then they went back and got Duran at the near end of the lottery. So with Troy, you always know one thing about Troy is he's always going to make a deal on draft night. Always, always, always. He's going to always try to do something. The draft is his bread and butter. That's why this is hired him. He was the right-hand man in OKC. Well, they were drafting all those studs. Troy Weaver was right there with them, advising and helping make the selection. So this is his bread and butter. This is how you have to build a team in Detroit, especially inheriting the situation he inherited. So we're just all eyes locked on, our Pistons beat reporters were in the room texting their sources and trying to figure out, we're all trying to reach out to people and try to figure out, what's the word? Are the Pistons going to trade back to 9 with Utah, 9 and 16? Like, there was a rumor about that. What about that Dallas at 10? Is that still in play? So it was one of those things where we were really just kind of waiting on Troy to be Trader Troy, and it didn't happen until the end of the first round. But better believe Troy did what Troy always does, and he made a move. So that was really the kind of an energy in the room, and the excitement was just translated into what's Troy gonna do. It's like Christmas, man. You don't know what you're gonna get, but you're gonna like it.
Right.
Absolutely. And I like when Troy Weaver, he came out and his press conference after the draft, came out and say, like he was reiterating about the Halle Berry, thing and all that. This being what he said, our confidence was a simple fact, the thing that, delusional Pistons fans has to understand that Troy Weaver is focused on defense. And all these delusional Pistons fans or so-called Pistons fans, we shouldn't have got this guy. We should have went at that Whitmore. We should have went this. We should have went at that. But Troy Weaver, you have to understand what he has done in this draft. Building a young core, the talent. He evaluates the talent so carefully. What you see out of Stewart, Cade, and Ivy, Duran, when Sadiq Bey was here, when you see that young core, what Troy Weaver has drafted, that core, see the talent. Same thing we seen with Asar and we seen with Marcus. His big thing is we want to address this defense. He's not thinking about the offense. That offense will come once that defense is addressed. The offense is going to score. At the same time in football, defense wins. And that's what we need defense to win games. The offense going to come along, once you play defense. And I love what Troy Weaver came out and said. One of the big things to focus on is that defense. Him and Monty Williams and that coach staff. Things they want to help people with this team. Focus on that defense. Our defense was atrocious last season. I know it's dealt with it because a lot of injuries, especially with our key players. But when they was going up, a lot of misassignments on defense, giving up easy baskets, giving up wide open shots. He was not communicating on defense. And now, with Monty Williams and with Troy Weaver and that Monty Williams, his coaching staff, they're not only going to bring the type of style that Monty wants to run or offense, but he wants to bring that defense. They want these young players to buy in on the defensive mentality. You know, communicate on defense, play zone, play man, 1-2, 1-3-1 zone. You know, with switches. You know, not making silly fouls.
Right.
So I love what Troy Weaver had, mentioned about defense, and that's what these Pistons fans, so-called delusional Pistons fans, have to understand. We need defense to stop teams from scoring or getting scoring over 120, 30 points on us.
Yeah.
We need to win games. That's what it is. We at this point now, this Pistons team, you should know with a healthy young core we have, a great coach, Monty Williams is, we should be at least to get in the play-in. To get in the playoffs. There should be nothing less than that. The time is now. We paid Monty Williams all this money. We paid him all this money to turn this young franchise, this team around to be successful. We at least compete for the play. If we get in the play,
the East is kind of wide open. Like Washington took a free fall. You know what I mean? Like there's some spots that are gonna open up. Chicago, listen, bro. Chicago's they needed to blow it up. That's overdue. They're gonna fall by the wayside. We'll see how real Orlando was last year, how real Indiana was. Those were teams that showed promise, but I don't think they're that much further or behind the Pistons. I think it's all in the same tier. So it's gonna be those teams fighting for the end of that play-in. But the Pistons should absolutely be in the fight for that when you look at everything that they've done and what they can do, which I know we'll get to in a minute about free agency and money like that. You just look at this team. This team has all the tools to make a jump, and you're absolutely right. It starts with the defensive end, and I thought that Troy did a great job addressing that in the draft. And now I want to see him address through free agency or trade or whatever it is. I want to see him to continue to address that shooting because, like I said, this Pistons team needed a whole lot of two things: a whole lot of defense and a whole lot of shooting. It needed both. It needed both of those. It needed both. You got some talent. You got some talent. You got some young guys that are promising. You got some young guys that can take good steps. But you need that supporting cast to build around them, and you got a coach that's going to put these players in the right position to win. Right? You just got to get those other players, round out that roster. And I'm not trying to see no Corey Joseph minutes this year. I'm not trying to see, I'm not trying to see those kinds of minutes no more, man. We're past those days. I watched too many Luka Garza minutes. I watched too many Trey Lyles minutes, man. It's time to put a real roster on the court, a real competitive roster, night in, night out. Even if they finish with the 10th record in the East, every night it's a fight against this team. That's what this team needs to be this season.
Absolutely, and like you said, the Eastern Conference is like now it's pretty much just like I said this before. The Eastern Conference is pretty much wide open. I mean, you've only got a couple of teams, top tier teams. Boston, Miami's going to make a move. You never count on Pat Riley. Pat Riley, but Milwaukee's still going to be around because, Giannis. Now, let's see if Middleton end up resigning and Milwaukee throws the money at him. If they end up resigning with him, we'll see how that goes. But, Milwaukee still be around. We don't know what Philadelphia's going to do. I mean, they got Nick Nurse as head coach. We don't know what's going to happen with James Harden. Is he going to leave? Is he going to stay? We don't know what's going to happen with Philadelphia.
We know what's going to happen. We know what's going to happen. With James Harden on your team, we know what's going to happen.
I feel like even if he's still on that team, they can be a playoff team, but they ain't going far.
And Brooklyn sold their Kevin Durant and Kyrie, and they were one of the best teams in the East, and then all of a sudden they barely made the playoffs. So like when you map out what they did after Kevin Durant and Kyrie, that team was a not playoff team. Like Adam Silver should have almost stepped in and been like, "Hey, listen, I know what the records are, but you can't be here. You can't be here, dog. You don't got this. Ain't the same team. You inherited 35 wins. Like we can't, we can't do this. We're gonna have to swap you out or something." So like Brooklyn is a team that could be at the bottom of the East too next year.
Yeah, and then
you know what?
But one more thing, right quick, and then you got to look into the New York Knicks.
Yeah,
you look at them. Oh my goodness! I mean, yeah, they need to get rid of Julius Randle over there.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Get them on the first flight out.
Yeah. And now look with Atlanta. They just traded with John Collins. You know what I'm saying? They traded with John Collins for pretty much nothing. Rudy Gay is jealous of his career. He was in his career. He stopped.
That was the most surprising part of the trade is that Rudy Gay is still around.
He's still around. Right? Yeah. I mean, Atlanta. I mean, Quinn Snyder's the coach, but I mean, unless Atlanta's going to make a move, I don't see what. You know, like I said, Brooklyn's going to have a free. They're going to fall out. New York, we don't know what New York going to do. Cleveland's still a young team, but I don't think Cleveland's going to. I don't think Cleveland's going to be that great. You know what I'm saying? They got a good talent, but I mean, Cleveland's like Chicago. We don't know what's going to happen in Chicago. They need to break that team up, and that's why I say this team. You know, if healthy, they could possibly be one of the top 6 teams that have to play in the play-in. They could possibly, because the way how the East conference with teams in the East. That's just, you know, this is an opportunity.
I'll tell you this: people that are connected to K, that we have been connected to through the heavyweights and through just our mutual connections. Hey, the people around Cade are saying, "Hey, bro, play and talk ain't a thing. We're looking at the 6th seed." Like they're saying, well, this version of Cade that we're about to see this season, it's something you haven't seen. I'm excited.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but you took a big part of the statement out there. Sitting here holding, waiting, and man, I was just saying this team is a good, healthy / nice little trade and maybe one decent free agent signing away from landing down that 5th seed.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. Like, because when you look at like way y'all put it out there, you know, you might have a sneaky team, maybe like the Raptors that might get in there if they can get their stuff together. But it's like I expect us to get some revenge on some of these teams we've been dealing with, like New York and Philly. I expect some of those games we normally lose a lot to. I'm expecting us to get some of those games back up. So if they get the right moves, because health was. If you really pay attention to last year, if it all started to me when Marvin Bagley went down. When he went down, and then you had a chance, but then it's like Cade was down, that was it. And it was no way of returning from that. So to me, if you'd have been 100% healthy as much as close as possible, you probably would have won 27 games this match.
Exactly.
And that's what Dwayne did.
That's what people got to do, the math, right? Like you point out the 27, right? You point out the 27. On top of that, you added Monty Williams. Like they look at the 17 wins, but you got to think, you basically inherited a number 1 overall pick this year, plus your new guys that you drafted, plus whoever you get in free agency, plus a reigning coach of the year. Like you map all those things together, and like the 17 wins or the 18 win jumps that sound crazy because not many teams make that jump. It really, in this particular case, makes a lot of sense too, because also it's a lot easier to win to go from 17 to 38 wins than it is to go from 38 to 59. Like that's a whole nother jump when you're a decent team and then you jump to like contender to best record in the league. That's a huge jump. But like bottom of the basement where nobody took you seriously to now a team that people gotta at least respect when they play. That's a very feasible jump for Detroit to make. So I get that the numbers can look shocking, but you're right, man. Like you're right. When you factor in everything, it's like the math can add up really quick.
like, you know, a lot of people gotta remember too, like when LeBron ruled the East, there was a time where the Pistons didn't even have a bench. They had Steve Blake under Stan Van Gundy. Knowing that was a mess, and they still got what 40 wins or something like that to make that playoffs in.
Yeah.
40 plus wins. So they did it then, and this time you don't have a LeBron James. Like the most scariest three players you probably got in the East are probably Giannis, but you don't know what the Bucks are going to be because you got guys telling they want more money. They look like they need to kind of clean up some things around there and kind of rejuvenate the roster. Then you got the Sixers, you know, Joel Embiid. Yeah, he's a monster, but like I said, I think we'll have their number. We'll at least go a couple more wins than we normally would against them this year. And then after that, it's pretty much the Boston Celtics. Because I think you can manage to get the Heat. Because you know Jimmy Butler ain't gonna care about the regular season. It's gonna be Tyler Hero.
Right.
And then, like I said, it's pretty much just tossed up. So we got to start looking at ourselves as the more fortunate version of the OKC. Because OKC on the same sort of treadmill as we are, they're probably a little bit sort of ahead because they've been building and grooming their young guys a little bit better than we have. But I think we might have just evened up the odds a little bit when you add our division. The fact that Cade is coming back, because I don't know what people were paying attention to last year, but that Cade was averaging down 20 points a game. And at times, you know, like I said, other parts of that team was healthier. If you had Marvin Bagley early, that's why I said I throw him in there, because like that connection, we saw what they did together when they first got with each other. If that helps, if their health never deteriorated, who knows what they could have. I just said 27 to be nice. You understand, like if you got guards that can distribute the ball, and a guy like him, and you bring in Ivy for his skills in transition, and now you just add this kid that we got in Thor, who's also really good for transition. And the one thing people got to pay attention to, what he does defensively more than anything, is he helps create turnovers. See, that's a big difference there. It's one thing to be good on defense, but when you can help create turnovers, that's a whole nother story right there. Like that's what people got. That's why you have to build defense, because you see what's happening with the Houston Rockets, it doesn't work. You see it with the Atlanta Hawks, it doesn't work. When you look at the New York Knicks, yeah, they were in the playoffs, they don't have enough defense. Their team is predicated on scoring, but they don't have enough defense.
Well, what I'm gonna say is the New York Knicks had the New York Knicks. The problem is they couldn't score on a consistent basis outside Jalen Brunson. That was the problem, and you didn't get nothing. You didn't get nothing for Julius Randle. They had some defense. Their defense was in the top 15. You know, Tom Thibodeau was a defensive-minded coach, but you have to understand, if your defense only goes so long, but you can't score in this league like that, you're not going to win. You're not going to win one game. Yeah, your defense is going to hold up. But
I get you. I get you where you're coming from, but here's the problem with that. You say because they got to rely on scoring sometimes. I get how that works. But see, here's the thing, too. I look at basketball. I don't always just look at the ranks and, if somebody's scoring not to help defense out. Sometimes you got to look at matchups, too. Because ain't nobody, to me, on that guard spot, man, up on guys like Jimmy Buckets. You ain't finna stop. You can try to slow down. It's hard to stop that, especially in playoff time. Who didn't got you trust defending? That's the thing about it. See, right there, they got a lot of good active guards that were inconsistent in scoring. Maybe they should put a certain player in there that could have probably helped. But the problem is they need wings and guards that can really help on defense. It's important to have that. And to me, the Knicks failed in that department. Because and that's why they got shredded up the other year when they made the playoffs. But because they couldn't defend the paint. They didn't have enough defense when they matched them up.
Well, I think they got a guard that plays defense. It's just that he just had injury issues throughout the playoffs as far as Josh Hart. Josh Hart can defend. He just was fighting through injuries. That's the big thing. And the Knicks got more bigger problems. They're almost trying to give up Obi Toppin, but yet you want to give up Obi Toppin, but yet you want to sign his brother. I don't understand that at all. I mean, I just don't get it. And then you give up their roles, so I don't know what's going on with that.
And see, that's the price of when you spend your money to get something there, and you don't have any, like the Knicks really didn't have too much foundation. Like, how many years have they been drafting players in and out? They never really had too much foundation. They had to sign a lot of free agents and get guys, try to like force feed their team together. But it's like they, to me, didn't have a system that was built for them defensively enough. They were just trying to get a team to get in the playoffs. So to me, they don't have any structure as much. I don't feel like anybody. It almost feel like they have a team that don't fit together. The guards are active and all that, but as you can see, they're inconsistent in big moments. I mean, that's what the one thing that the teams that that the Pistons have had through the years when they will win championships, they always had a team that fit together. Everybody plays off one of the scrimmage. That's what they're leaning towards now. Like I said, you're getting Cade back. That's a defensive player. Ivy is going to probably get a little bit better. You probably got to stay on him a little harder, but he's going to probably get a little bit better on defense too. And then, like I said, you go probably bring in a veteran that can help defend on the wing. You're probably going to have, like I said, there could be a trade that we give a power forward that should come in and help us on defense and stuff like that. And you still got this Stewart and you got Jalen Durant. So the philosophy, we have our scores. We already have it. Like, we don't have to worry about signing some big quality free agent because you have kids that are already good at scoring. They're going to get better. You just need the veterans that can help you teach them to understand the assignments on defense and they can help put them in the right spot. That's what they've been lacking. And I think you can do that. That's why I said they make the right trade with a key free agent signing, not necessarily star player, but and they stay healthy, starting with Cade and the boys. I mean, this is Steve. You never know. They could even shot the wheel and possibly push for the fifth. If the Knicks got the fifth a couple years ago, I mean, this guy had a shot.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and move on to the free agency before our guest has to get out of here. Out here around 10 o'clock. So, so let's move to the free agency. So free agency starts at Friday at 6 o'clock p.m. That's when everything start, negotiations going through and everything. So, our special guest, Chris, man. So, what you think of this upcoming free agency, and what do you think, possibly what Troy Weaver's going to do for who he's going to get to be part of our Pistons team?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's a weak free agent class, but I will say there are some options there for Detroit. There are a lot of options. You've seen the one that James Edwards been reporting on today, and that's Cam Johnson, the Brooklyn Nets. That's a player that I really, really like for Detroit if Detroit can get their hands on him. I mean, he's a perfect stretch four that is uber athletic. He follows the Troy Weaver mold of having athleticism, shooting, and defense, having those three skills. He has a good feel for the game. He's a good cutter. He obviously had a previous working relationship with Monty Williams, and one that was very positive. He loved Monty, and Monty loved him, so I like that. And this is a guy who also people forget, he has had his injuries, but look at him in the NBA Finals. Like, this guy played in an NBA Finals, and although he's only 27, he played in the NBA Finals, and he played on the biggest stage, and he played well. He shot 44% from three in the NBA Finals. So, I mean, this is a guy that showed you that he can play on the biggest pressure moments. And now is the time to sign a player to that contract, because I don't love necessarily paying Cameron Johnson $25 million per year, which is what it's probably going to take to get him. But I'm okay with it now because the way the Pistons roster is set up, you're going to have Cade on a rookie contract for this year and next year. Ivy for 3 more years, Duran for 3 more years, a star for 4 years. Like, it's going to be a long time before the Pistons really start having to pay all of these young guys. So why don't you go in now on these 3-4 year deals and get a guy who can help you win right now, who can help you win right away, but also won't get in the way of your team's growth of these young players. Because again, he's going to be an ultimate floor spacer that the Pistons desperately need. So I like him a lot, but I'm also not opposed to the idea that you kind of mentioned, right? Getting a couple veterans and bringing them in, and filling out and getting 2 or 3 guys instead of one. I think that if you can swing that, that's also a good thing. But I expect Troy to be really active. It sounds like the first thing he's going to do is he's going to excuse me, sorry, I was getting a call. First thing he was trying to do was get Cam Johnson or Jeremy Grant. If that doesn't work, then he's looking at, the trade market. And we saw this last year. He ended up getting Alec Burks and Nerlens Noel, 2 players that he thought was going to contribute on the team, as well as additional draft capital. And that was a good pickup. Like, you can weaponize your cap space more than just in free agency. It's not strictly just who's a free agent. And with this new CBA, a lot of teams are looking to cut costs, and we saw that today with Atlanta. Atlanta, I don't remember if it was Shams or Woj, whichever one tweeted it. They tweeted, hey, Hawks traded John Collins in a salary dump because of the new CBA. Those were the exact words. So this CBA is going to have a lot of teams maneuvering, and Troy has said that. Troy has said it puts Detroit in a position to weaponize their cap space. So, I wouldn't be shocked if Detroit doesn't make a free agent signing and instead they just use their cap space via trade and get some role players that are maybe a little bit too expensive, maybe a little bit over the value of their contract, but can still help the Pistons right now. Or can get them an asset, not like a Tobias Harris, which is a monster contract, but a couple guys like the Alec Burks level, 10 to 12 million or 14 million, guys that teams have just soured on, that they're trying to move away to get a star free agent or whatever. That's where Detroit can really take advantage and kind of get some options there. So there's a lot more options than I think people are thinking, and that we know.
Like I've been saying, hey, I'll even take a guy like JT McDaniels from the Sixers, like a veteran that can defend and help us out in the wing.
Go ahead, Bree.
Yeah, like with the free agency, I definitely wouldn't mind somebody like a Cam Johnson or Mikal Bridges. I wouldn't mind him either. I would take him in a heartbeat.
Mikal's under contract. I love Mikal too. I would love to get him, but I don't think Brooklyn's parting with him, unfortunately. But the day the Pistons got the 5th pick and it wasn't number 1, I said, hey, call Brooklyn and be like, yo, what's the deal? But exactly. I think they didn't even want to give up 3 for Mikal for 3. That's what I heard from Brooklyn. Brooklyn didn't want to give up Mikal at all. But man, I would have loved to talk about a perfect fit next to Cade and Ivy. Who will guard the best player and ball out with Mikal. That is a perfect fit. So yeah, that's a good one. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even mind, and I know this might be a stretch. This might be a stretch, and I know some fans wouldn't like it. I wouldn't even mind Miles Bridges. I wouldn't even mind Miles Bridges.
I mean, it depends on the money, but I'm with you. I said that too, 100%. Depends on the money, but if the money can work, maybe you can get Miles Bridges and Grant Williams. You can get 2 really good wings for the price of what Cam or Jeremy Grant would cost you. And if you can do it that way, this Pistons team, as you saw in the last few years, depth ain't a word. It ain't in the dictionary for the Pistons.
Absolutely. No doubt. I wouldn't mind them, or just somebody that's you don't have to pay a lot of money. I know Jeremy Grant wants a lot of money. I'm not willing to pay him $30 million a year to get him. I can't do that. He's a nice player, but I can't pay him no $30 million a year for 5 years. I can't do that. It's too much. So that Tobias Harris, as much as I like Tobias, I can't do it because it's just.
I agree.
I would want him to come back. So I would just mine would just be Cam. I would mind Cam Johnson if people saying it's $100 million for 4 years. I take that. I would take it. So.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Thomas, go ahead, bro.
Oh no, I ain't mean to cut Bree off. I'm sorry.
No, you good.
Joe, you good. Go ahead,
okay.
no.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, man. It's like, it's about pretty much who they figure starts. I don't think personally. I'm not saying I have a problem if he does or doesn't, but I just don't feel like Asar is going to start right away. I feel like Troy Weaver made that for defense and for the future. I mean, that's literally what he said. So I feel like if you go get somebody that's a free agent, you're looking at that 3-wing that somebody can come in and help on defense. You're also looking for a power forward. Now, Daryl will tell you for a long time, I was screaming for the John Collins scenario. Like, I was like, man, let's trade Bagley, maybe Boyan or somebody kind of package him up with a future draft pick. Let's see if we get Collins over here, and that could be our 4 guy. We can finally clean up the roster a little bit, then focus on 3 tech. But then, he got traded for Rudy Gay. So that happened. But I have been screaming for John Collins for at least like 4 months now. So it's just for me, as long as they can get a couple guys to play defense, like they say, because that has been a big issue. Like, we can't have Jalen Duran on the island on his own here. I know we've been screaming about 3-wings, but that 4 guy, we need somebody to also defend there, man, because, like, don't want to keep putting our centers on the island by themselves. So you need somebody to help on defense. Like I said, I hear Harrison Barnes' name showing up 2 at times, and I'm hearing, because that's what you need. You need veterans. There's one thing to get a Cam Johnson. I love Cam Johnson. I love him as a prospect. But at the same time, it will help get veterans that's like championship level experience too. Cam does fall for that too, but Harrison Barnes has been around a little longer. So it's like, you might want some of those type of guys in there that can settle the room, because like I said, you got your scores. You need your joints, man, that can keep things together. You have your body, you need your joints. Man, your body can be strong all you want. If the elbow joints ain't working right, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing. So that's what they missing. They need the glue guys in there, man. To fill out this roster. It's like a puzzle. They gotta get the right people that fit. They don't necessarily need a 45% shooter or something that's small for. They need somebody to go off the defense, and if he even only help 35, 36%, I'm cool with that, as long as he's a help. Because he's going to be getting set up 9 times out of 10 anyway. Got a ball down the guards and Cade and Ivy, especially with Cade being ball sharing as he is. So you just basically got to go off what fits from your starting lineup, so on and so on. So it's just about what they want to do. I'm content as long as he plays defense and he's a help, it's all right with me. And no Draymond Green.
I'm with that, man. I'm a starting dog. I'm with that, but yeah, I can't bring him in here. I also just want to see him end in Golden State. You know what I mean? Like in the era where everybody moves around, I want to see that be, this generation San Antonio. Those guys just ride it out together for however long. I want that to happen. Much as I love Draymond Green.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Well, Chris,
I wouldn't mind. Not to cut you off. I wouldn't mind getting somebody like Kelly Oubre.
Yes, that's a good
I wouldn't
one.
mind.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I looked at Kelly Oubre in free agency. Yeah, see, that's the beautiful thing about the Pistons, man, is they got their biggest need is one that can be somewhat easily filled, right? Like, there's a lot of options to fill it. So that's what's good, because we're naming, we named 10 different guys, and all of them work to varying degrees. It's about finding the right one for the right money, and making it, or two, and making it work. But there's a lot of great options. I'm glad you brought up Harrison Barnes. I'm glad you brought up Kelly Oubre. Like, those are guys too that the Pistons should look at. So,
yeah,
there's some options, man.
Absolutely. Well, Chris, I know you got to get out of here, man. We'd love just to thank you for coming through on our show, man. We definitely gonna be, continue to watch and show the support of Woodward Sports, man. We're definitely glad to have you on our D313 rap report. Also, we usually go on our main stream on Thursdays. Our YouTube channel, man. We also on our Facebook page. Chan, you tell the guys spread the word. Follow us at D313XP on our Facebook and our YouTube channel, man. Like I said, us three, we continue trying to build this brand up, man, and trying to continue to be out there, man. We see the work you and the other guys doing what we're supporting, man. Continue to do all the good work, yes, man. Very appreciate you, coming through and taking your little time, man.
Thank you, fellas. I appreciate this. This was fun. I enjoy having hoops, and I'm gonna be back, and I'm gonna probably have y'all on my platform too when I can, because I enjoyed talking hoops, man. So it was fun, and keep the hustle, keep the working. We're all just trying to make it, man. Let's just keep working. And we all got.
I'm sorry. You can lay a quick message for me to Easy. Tell him he about scared the hell out of me with those fake things he had on his.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man. Easy's my guy.
Yeah, that's my guy too.
I've known for a very long time, but we do a show together. But off mic, Easy. I'm not responsible for that, Easy. That's my guy, man. That's my guy.
Yeah, man, for sure. Sharp, Easy.
I appreciate all of y'all. All of y'all have a good night. Thank you for having me on this again. I had a great time, and I'm definitely be back.
All right.
We love to have you back, man.
We have that, man.
All right, man.
Appreciate
it.
Appreciate you, man. Can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
Peace.
Sir.
Yeah, man. Definitely, man. It was great, man. So, want to get my take on the free agency. I mean, all of y'all have valid points of free agency, man. Like it's me personally, man. I think the Pistons should go after Cam Johnson. He's a young guy. He has a little bit of experience. Guy that can be versatile. He's going to play some defense. He's a decent shooter. You know what I'm saying? He can shoot the ball. When needed. Need a guy that's, like I said, a little versatile. And like I said, I'm going to take another away from Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes is a solid player, but I think he is declining in his career. He just has not been the same player. Especially there's no injuries that hampered him. Stuff. He's really a solid player. I can't go wrong with saying about the Harrison Barnes. If I'm in for shoes, I won't go out there. His part of his career. I need somebody that's been around for a little while, that's still young. Like I said with Cam, like Bree, you brought up about, Miguel Bridges, and even Miles Bridges to a certain degree. But, it's a situation with Miles Bridges, even you bring me, he can't play for the first 30 games of the season. Suspended. And, like you said, you hear the rumors of Tobias Harris, but at this point, we don't need Tobias Harris because he's a good player. But again, he's kind of suspect on defense. I know he's been playing a little bit of defense on the dime.
He is bad.
Suspect. I mean, we were preaching about defense. We don't need Tobias Harris over here. I understand. I love much as I love Draymond Green, but I don't think Draymond Green. I don't want Draymond Green. I know he could be a locker room presence for young cool, but at the same time, we don't need all the antics of technical fouls, arguing refs, all the time. We don't need all that. It's culture. Don't need all that. So. We'll pass on Draymond, but my biggest one, like I said, Cam Johnson. I don't have a problem with the Miles Bridges, but he played for 30 games. And Kelly Oubre, when I had Kelly Oubre, inconsistent. He's inconsistent.
He kind of get injury prone too. Yeah.
That's another guy.
But you know what, though? Like, I'm sorry, John, you cut you off.
No. Just injury. You just injury prone, man. So, you don't know, and like Kelly, you don't know what you're getting from a 99 basis. I mean, we need to be somebody that's going to be consistent. I know this couple games you might have a bad game. This is third, but at the same time, man, it's like I've seen too many games where he was in Golden State, when he was in Washington, and he was in Charlotte. I see the inconsistency for him, and we don't need a guy that's going to be too consistent. It's not going to show up and always hurt. So he's a good player. Don't be wrong, but I wouldn't go out there. So that's why I've been, like I said, I'd say my biggest number Johnson. Get Cam Johnson. Yeah, you paying him $25-26 million a year, but guess what? Still a young player, guy that's been under Monty Williams' system. Knows Monty Williams play. I take him. Right. So that's how I'm taking it.
And you know what? I agree with you on that. It's just that, let's say, for example, like I said before, if we can't for some reason get any of those guys we just named that we want, this is why I said, although I don't know everything about the player, but I was saying, like, I'm cool with a guy like that, T.B. Daniels, because I get it. Like, that's the guy we go roll with at the 3-wing, but it's like, he was actually a good player, I think, and I think he would come off like a perfect veteran for this young team, somebody who can really direct and get them in the right spot. Like, I'm not living and dying by him or nothing like that, but I'm saying we can't get Grant back, or if we can't get Mikal or Cam Johnson or somebody like that, and you just have to take somebody that's like a veteran, but like not your sexy veteran that you open this splash on. I feel like that would be one of the best options right there, in my opinion. Or either the guy that you debated me on versus Robert Covington, who Robert Covington, by the way, would be another one I'm willing to bring on the roster necessary, but you said he was a better shot. Yeah, you start with a D, I can't think of his name, but something like that. You know, if they got to get players like that, hey, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? As long as we get the defense, that's the most important, is filling out this roster the proper way and cleaning up and make sure that we still got our depth. Because once you get those two veterans, that 3 and 4 spot, depending how they want to go, your roster going to have is defensive players. Like, that's why you got Sasser. That's why you took the young kid in 5. You know what I'm saying? And you still probably going to have Eugene or something fight for his spot. Still got Livers. Livers is a long-range frame in his own. Like, so, you got guys that can contribute on defense. Yeah, necessary. They can put points on the board. It's just about getting a couple of veterans that fit. And I think that's what it's all about. Free agency for fit. I think that needs to be the motto for this free agency this year. It's fit for free agency. Who's fit to be our free agent? Like, that's our motto for sure. Who's the one that fits here?
Absolutely, man. The one that's arguing about Robert Covington. I was saying about Torrey Craig.
I think that's what it was. Yeah,
Torrey Craig. I said Torrey Craig would be another guy we could bring him in. Yeah, he could be a corner knockdown 3-point shooter. A corner, as I say, 3-point shooter. A guy that's going to play defense. So I would not have no problem. Like I said, I'll bring him in the heart. I get a guy, I don't need his scoring. That's a bonus to me. He gives me 10 to 12 points. That's a bonus to me. I need a guy that's going to be out there, that's going to play defense. Not the other team's best player. Oh, just even the second best player on the other team. I take Torrey Craig in a heartbeat.
Yeah, you never know. He could be on Weaver's watch list. Craig, Daniels, he could be on their watch list for all we know.
Absolutely.
Hey, Dorian Finney-Smith.
Yes, Dorian Finney-Smith. Another one. But Brooklyn gonna try to keep him. They're gonna try to keep him.
And I know another guy nobody mentions. He may be under contract, but it's a young guy, and he plays good defense. Another guy you can mention is Isaac Okoro.
Yeah,
Isaac Okoro. I know he needs help with shooting, but his defense, he has a lot of talent. He just got to work on his shooting. If he work on his shooting, he'll really be something.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I have no problem with that. Like, because at the end of the day, you know, you need more than just shooting the basketball to win a basketball game. So, you know, just one less shooter. I mean, hell, we love Hamidou Diallo, and he ain't always shooting. Hell, I love Josh Jackson. Shit, he ain't shoot. He was athletic. He can definitely sure score inside and get going, but he was hell good on defense at small forward. So, what I'm saying.
Yeah, and another guy, and like I said, we talked about this earlier, man. I'm telling you this, that team in LA, not the one with the red and white and blue. That purple and gold. I'll tell you this right now. If they don't sign that AR-15 guy, y'all know who I'm talking about. Austin Reed. If they don't sign that guy, Troy Weaver, go after him. Better go after him.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a team that's gonna throw the bag at him, man. Guaranteed. Somebody gonna get him at least 20 or 25 million, man. And
you gotta look out for teams like you know, Cleveland and Chicago and all them trying to snag him up. So let's be careful with that. And you gotta look out for Milwaukee. You gotta watch Milwaukee with them too.
I'm gonna tell you this, and I know my man D gonna like it when I say this. Can you imagine if he signs with the Clippers?
Oh, it's okay.
If he signed with the Clippers, man, bro.
He would be probably one of the best shooters Westbrook played with since Bradley Beal. And that probably would be crazy, but yeah.
Oh, man. I'm almost kind of wishing that would happen just to see Laker fans' faces when that happened. If they
because
God.
LeBron missed him in so many opportunities in the playoffs. It was a joke, bro. And then, like, I ain't about to get into all that.
I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be another Alex Caruso situation if they give him up. That's how it's gonna be.
Now, before we get out of here, it's another guy that played in that purple and gold, whatever, yellow, that could be out there too. If they don't sign him. Jared Vanderbilt.
I'm with that.
Jared Vanderbilt.
I would consider that.
I wouldn't even mind Rui Hashimura.
But they
for that small forward.
Hell yeah.
But they gonna resign him. That's one of the big.
I don't know. But you know what? There was an article stating that there was potentially a chance for a veteran player or two that might get cut to try to keep both Reeves and Rui there. But if they don't do something, that Rui, man, I will let. And see, this is also we were talking about earlier. This is why I said I wish the Pistons would have just went through with that Bobo trade, because you would have the way he played with Magic last year. Oh, it would have been definitely good to have him over here in Detroit.
Oh yeah.
If you just said bump it, took the risk, and just went with it, regardless of the failure of his physical, we would have been just fine with him. We wouldn't be worried about getting Ashton Wing because we already have him. Because he probably can play that stretch for him, and he was very good on defense. And he got length, and he played strong. Yeah, I'm scared to see what he gonna look like next year. I'm not worried about, Ben Chiro and all those guys. I'm looking at Bobo, because if he gets more minutes next year, you gotta watch out.
And the brothers over there, the Fox brothers, you gotta watch out for them. Mo.
Oh yeah,
you gotta watch out.
Yeah, Mo. Yeah, man.
Brian's he's up and down, but you gotta watch out for Mo.
Look, why is every player every young player that get drafted that on the team with LeBron that gets drafted, they always don't get the opportunities they should get, and then when they leave, they performed so much better without Michael. He left Cleveland, Colin Sefton. Yeah, you can say what you don't like about him. Colin Sefton is nice. Sefton is nice. And then you got the Wagner. Mo, I think, was the first one that was, Mo Wagner was the one drafted first. But yeah, now I look at both of them like every young player I look up, it's like at some point, that's why I say he screwed himself early in his career, not leaning on a team and having them draft right players to fit their system and developing the core like it was in Miami when he was there. Because that's why he's still doing the things they're doing. Because they drafted and developed players and took the time. He was always trying to rush for a big three setting so he can try to see his way to a championship. That's one reason why I cried. I wouldn't go there if I said like I was there. So that's my only thing with it. But yeah, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. So, got any final thoughts before we get out of here, man?
Agreed.
Yeah, first, man, I just want to just thank Chris for coming in, man. It's like I can't thank him enough, man. And you know, and he's doing a good job at Woodward Sports, man. So big ups to him. And just everything that we talked about, man, it was just a great show. It was fun. Hey, man, shows like this just makes it fun for what we like to talk about and to have people on. And this is just another prime example. With that, like I said, the Piston picks, man, love them. It's all about them just staying healthy. That's the big thing about this team. They have to stay healthy. Gotta stay healthy. And it's good that they have, and then not only with Monty Williams being there, but the assistant coaches, Steven Silas, Jared Jack, and Mark Ryan. I think that's going to really help this young team also. You know what I'm saying? And they already got a team concept. Like, yeah. I can't with you. But yeah, man, I think I got so much. I can't wait for the season with the Pistons, man. I really can't. It's just the draft picks, this young team. You know, the goal is to at least not a play-in, but the height of it has to be getting 6 seed. That has to be the goal. Is getting that 6 seed. And if they can, they sky's the limit. I think they can do some things, but. Yo, I just can't wait for the season, and I'm so excited about it, man. I can't wait.
Okay, definitely. Go ahead, Noam.
Well, obviously, you know, hell of a show today. My lateness was not my fault. I refuse to take responsibility for that, and I will never take responsibility for that. And, but yeah, man, it was a hell of a show, man. Shout out to Chris Platte, cool guy, man. Like I said, I've been watching him on the heavyweight for quite a minute, man. Like I said, he's a pretty cool guy, man. So appreciate him and follow him on his shit. Everybody watching this, but yeah, man. I'm waiting for free agency draft is done with. Over with now. Shockingly, I haven't heard too many UBS face times. Normally you hear a lot more about that during this time but I think I had a weird, funny reason why that might be the case. But that's another story for another time. But yeah, man, great show, great job, Bill, hosting the show today, of course. Stay up on us, man. We got content coming, like I always say. You know, hit that subscribe button, man. On that Facebook page, on that IG page, all types of 213SB. Make sure y'all hit the follow, man. And just share our content with, you know, all your friends, neighbors, cousins, and cats, minds, man. So, you know, just help us out, you know, just get us in that rhythm so we can get in that rhythm for y'all. You know, God bless everybody, man. So, Daryl, go ahead, take us out.
Man, I'm not going to get into it. It's just crazy. The basketball. I mean, I'm not gonna get into it. I'm just what I just bring around. Because people just don't know how great Kobe is. I'm not LeBron is better than Kobe, but whatever. But yeah, man, it was a great show today, man. Definitely, we would like you said, man, on our Rappaport show, episode 9. Definitely having him on, it was huge. Like just having, and I like breathe, man. You know, went in to getting our team coming the show, man. You know, I'd like to thank you for doing that. Of course, and also thank you for what you've been doing, putting this thing together. You know, and trying to so like I said, trying to get this thing, man. So to be better, man. To be better. We're gonna continue to put content up there. That's and continue to try to build subscribers and build it up, man. Definitely, man. Like I say, make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe, our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, man. You see that little ticker at the bottom of the screen, you see that, make sure to subscribe, man. So yeah, man. I'm ready for free agency. It's Friday, o'clock p.m. It's going to be exciting. Troy he's going to do it. He's evaluating. He's probably already evaluating right now. Probably watching some of the there. So he can evaluate. That together. Pursuing, trying to get John. Troy Weaver is doing his diligence, man. So, I guess I'm excited about getting the draft picks that we got. Sard, Thompson, Marcus Sasser. So, excited for those guys who are be a part of our Pistons organization. Man. So, definitely we welcome them. So, yeah, I'm ready for it, man. Ready for it. Definitely gonna be tuned in. Definitely, we'll get agency, whether it's trades, everything. We definitely go out gadget contact. Make sure you stay tuned. Stay tuned. And we definitely will be reacting.
Let me add something to that, Daryl, because you also kind of talked about it. There may be some Red Wings content coming very soon this week because the draft is this week. On Wednesday, our boy Greed will be down there. It's still decided if I'm going to be down there Wednesday or not myself. Either way, there will be some content for the Red Wings.
Go, Nomis. Go down there.
It's hot.
Hey, even if you don't, man, I'll represent us well, man. Do some filming and stuff like that.
No, I'm telling him to go. If I had to get one of them jet packs from Grand Theft Auto to get him down there.
Okay. I'll see what I can do.
Nah, man, but yeah, man. So this has definitely been a great show. Like I said, just make sure you guys stay tuned, man. We definitely gonna continue dropping consistent content, man. So all of us on Facebook, Instagram, like you say, hit that like and subscribe, man, to our channel. So, and another thing too. The Detroit Tigers are winning the Texas Rangers. Yes, sir. They are winning. They can hold on to this lead. Yeah. I got to tell my guy Bree earlier, and I'm telling you, if the Tigers go on here this 4-game trip against Texas, if they could get a split or get 3 out of 4, that'd be great. That'd be great. Let's go Tigers, baby. Let's go Tigers. We still have opportunity. So, like I said, yeah, make sure when we dropping content, reaction video of Detroit Red Wings, the draft Wednesday, make sure y'all, stay tuned for that as well. We'll do a reaction on that as well, man. So then we're gonna be going back to talking Lions as well because training camp is coming up. So we ain't forgot about the Lions. As that being said, this is another episode of D313 Rap Report. Myself, Nova's Jay, and Bree. We out of here.
Coach.
Peace.